Greetings, everybody. Uwath here. Merry meet and blessed be. So, the screenshots that came before this video, in the beginning of this video, it's important to read that, okay? Um, because it's all a lie, and I'm going to tell you why. So, I put in the Google search engine, what if, you know, people stopped working for 72 hours, 3 days? The whole nation just decided to stand down and not go to work. How would it affect the country, basically? And so, um, this is what they gave me. All right. And I find this really, really interesting because it's so far from the truth. And it just goes to show how social media platforms and information that we're getting out there is controlled and is under the narrative of those who rule us, those who basically rule the world, the federal banking system and stuff, the private banking system, the Rothschilds. So the thing about it is the Rothschilds developed this system where money runs everything. It controls everything. Okay. So but without money, the Rothschilds cease to exist as well. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Now they're going to come up with all sorts of kind of justifications and what have you stuff, saying, hey, you know, if you stop working, if everybody was to stop working and stuff, they would just starve to death. Well, here's the thing. It's totally, totally false. Let me tell you how a stand down would actually, how it would affect, in reality, the monetary balance within any country. So, if people were to stock up enough food for the family for 72 hours, which is really easy to do, okay? So you say, well, you're going to the store and you're just buying extra stuff, so how's that going to affect anything? They're still getting their money for that stuff that they would normally be getting the 3 days that nobody's worked anyway. No, that's not true. No, that's not true at all. The items that are being bought has already been made, is already available. When people stand down, then no products are being produced. Nothing is being manufactured. And so you can't get back that loss. You cannot get back that loss. So the thing about it is, when a store gets resupplied with stock, okay, and they sell all that stock out, sure, they make their money for that stock. But the days that they're shut down, they're not selling anything. They're not selling anything. And you cannot get that back. You cannot get that back. There's just no way. Unless you up the prices to basically make up for that loss. Now that can only go on for so long before that system crumbles. Because that just creates more chaos and more rebellion in regards to standing down longer. See how a stand down works? That's how it works. So the thing about it is this is a system that has been proven to work through experience within judicial systems, prisons. When the environment becomes too abusive and counter rehabilitative, so to speak, in its, you know, endeavors, the prisoners just stand out because the prisoners have been used as cheap labor and to fill jobs that save the government money having to hire in order to do those jobs anyway. In inner maintenance inside the prison, everything from plumbing to electrical to even you know, welding and, you know, metal shop type of like services, etc., and the culinary. So without prisoners, the prison system would be extremely overwhelmingly costly for the state to maintain in compliance with human rights. Now, the whole goal of the prison system is rehabilitating prisoners so they can go back out and be productive people of society. So, without the prisoners learning to work and learning to be responsible and holding down jobs, etc., and stuff like that, that's part of the rehabilitative system. So when the prison comes up with this behavioral psychology experiments on prisoners, and they are receiving a magnitude of punishments for not abiding by the rules or whatever it may be, when the punishments are just overwhelmingly abusive and you know, so the prisoners basically do a sit down. They refuse to do their inner jobs, works, go work in the culinary, go work in any type of like, you know, contracting jobs, such as here in Utah, it's UCI, Utah Department of Corrections Industries, and where they make furniture and provide other types of like governmental services and what have you and stuff. When they do that, not only does the government lose money, you know, they also have to bring in people, hire people to come in and do the jobs that the prisoners refuse to do, such as janitorial, because you have to have a clean, safe environment by law. And so cooking in the, you know, meals for the prisoners and what have you stuff in the culinary. A lot of times officers end up having to go and do that, you know, and so it causes a lot of disruption and it causes a lot of money loss for the state when prisoners do a peaceful sit down. So it works. It works. It's a proven fact. It works. And any ex-cons out there and what have you stuff will vouch that peaceful sit downs like that do work. But they take a long time. They take a long time. Sometimes, you know, at least a month, sometimes 3 months, you know. But there's not a correctional officer out there that wants to come to work and have to cook for prisoners because they're sitting down and not going and doing their job, you know, of feeding themselves, cooking and feeding for themselves. So, you know, sit downs is a proven fact that they work. All right. So if you, another example, if you have like, say for an example, let's take a big place like, you know, corporation like Walmart. If every single employee, or even Amazon, every single employee goes on strike or sits down, you know, for 72 hours, 3 days, Okay, with Amazon, even the drivers, even the delivery drivers. Okay, well, look at all the problems that causes. People who have ordered, products and what have you stuff through Amazon are now not going to get their products, you know, it's going to be 72 hours late. The revenue within those 3 days, they're not going to get that revenue. And they're not going to be able to make up that revenue without upping the prices, which is also going to deter people having stuff from ordering and doing business with that company. They'll be going to Eastbay. They'll be going to Temu. They'll be going to other corporations what have you stuff that provide the same products. So they're not going to be able to make up for that 72-hour loss. And when you're looking at a multi-billion-dollar a year business, you know what I'm saying? One day is a lot of cash. Is a lot of cash. Is a lot of cash. And when people hear of the environment, the Hartz environment, all the employers' bylaws, the company's bylaws for employees and everything and stuff, that are too harsh, the treatment's too harsh, et cetera, et cetera. You hear a lot of horror stories from employees dealing with Amazon. They're not going to want to, even if all those employees were be terminated from their job due to this 72-hour stand down, other people are not going to want to go work for them. And then you have this narcissistic founder of Amazon who says, "Well, that's fine. I'll just get robots to do everything for me." Well, robots have to be programmed. People don't. People can do stuff just on a whim without being programmed. You know what I'm saying? Hey, go clean up that pile of mess. A robot has to be programmed. So the thing about it is, and then there's going to be situations and stuff where robots are going to be broke down. Their maintenance is really expensive. While they're operating, they're probably operating pretty cheap. But however, to maintain them is going to be really, really expensive. But they're going to try to convince you that it's not, because they want to keep you under their control. They want to keep you their slave. And so, and that's just like the banking system, the private banking systems. That's exactly what they want you to believe. They want you to believe that you're not going to be able to survive without this money. So, but this 72-hour stand down is going to cause a chain reaction, a ripple effect, all the way up to the top of the actual private banking system, the Rothschilds. So the thing about it is it's going to cut off their blood flow for 72 hours. And they're never going to be able to get that back without raising taxes. And that's exactly what they would do. And that's a form of behavioral psychology of rewards and punishment. They punish the people having stuff for doing that, revolting against their system, rebelling against their system. But the thing about it is the people have awakened. And this is what this shift's all about. People are getting past the lies and illusions. They're seeing the corrupt corporate government for what it really is. They're seeing the Christian Unity's elite corporate government for what it really is, because they are all tied together. They're a triplicy, And so you have the government, the banking systems, and religion. They're all tied together and stuff, and they all support and feed each other. And so the thing about it is people are waking up and they're seeing past all the lies and illusions. And they realize that, something, 72 hours is not that big of a sacrifice. And the thing about it is if everybody did that once a month, then jobs would always be open, because whoever, you know, quit this business over here could go to another business where their employees did the same thing and get hired. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be employment because businesses and corporations cannot operate without people. And if they go to robots, let them go to robots. Let them go to robots. You know what I'm saying? Because there's an ethical big standard here for them to have to comply with. You know what I mean? So they raise themselves up to be godly like and compassionate, and for them to turn around and just totally ignore people's needs is just turning around and exposing their true face and their apathy towards humanity. You know what I'm saying? They have no feelings. You know, they have no care. They have no compassion towards the working class. We're slaves. We're expendable. Well, look at Hitler. You know what I mean? Look at the French Revolution. Look at past history and see where that got them in the history books. So the thing about it is regardless, humanity is evolutionalizing and moving forward, is expanding and getting stronger and becoming more relevant and becoming more of the goal in regards to a global collective endeavor rather than just country by country, state by state. So just think about it. You know, there's people who go out, protests turn into violence, they get charges. They're just feeding those who enslave us. They're just giving them justifications to clamp down on us more and to force more rules. A peaceful stand down is the only way to bring about global humanity, let alone, national humanity and equality and fairness, and we have it's so powerful. People have really no idea, and it's so simple. It's so simple. So you can even you know um, the first month 72 hours, second month double that. You know what I mean? 144 hours, triple it. You could go monthly or you could go quarterly, but the people's got to do this together. It can't just be just a small little group here and there, here and there, here and there, here and there. You know, it's got to be when massive corporations that are nationwide, like Walmart and stuff like that. Target, etc. Um, you know, if they all work together, then that works too as well. On a smaller scale, but it's still very powerful and it still sends a strong message, to the corporate elite saying, hey, look, you know what? Yeah, we got something to worry about here. We got to do something, you know. So, anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. It's just for entertainment and educational purposes. It's just something to think about. What if people got together and do this? How would it affect our country? You know what I mean? Do your own research. Come up with your own answers. Thank you. Ooh, take care. Blessed be.